What's going on, guys? We're another trade sim video. Look at the most recent trade in the NHL. The Buffalo Sabres trading Sam Reinhart to the Florida Panthers for Devon Levi and a first-round pick. Now, I was honestly kind of shocked by this one. We didn't know, there was talk about Sam Reinhart being traded, more so just the return. I really thought they'd get a lot more for Sam Reinhart. He was the best player on a bad Sabres team last year, so probably not saying that much, but still, I think he's a very good player. Easily a top 6 player, and I think playing on a better team with better players around him, he's going to do even better than he has on Buffalo. Last year, he still put up 40 points, mostly playing without Eichel. The season pass, you can see he's definitely a point producer. In game here, 24 years old, 85 overall, medium league potential, making $5.2 million for 1 more year, so he does need a new contract. Florida should have the cap space to sign him. Second overall pick in 2014. Playmaker there, again, I feel like he's just a solid player. No knocks on his game. I thought for sure they would get like a first-round pick. And I think Devon Levi is a good prospect, but outside the World Juniors, I'm really not sure how much he's proven. So hopefully for Buffalo's sake, the World Juniors were not just a fluke, and he is the goalie everyone saw at that tournament. So Devon Levi is in this game because I'm using my custom rosters. I have to have Devon Levi. So I made him an 18-year-old, 68 overall goalie. This was after the World Juniors, so not biased at all in this trade. Medium starting potential, but you can see goalies in this game just do not have a lot of value. And on top of that, of course, is the first-round pick in 2022. Now, if the first-round pick ends up being a top 10 pick, it gets moved to 2023. So similar to the Seth Jones-Chicago trade, I feel like Buffalo should hope they don't get the 2022 pick, because then they get an unprotected 2023 pick, which could be Connor Bedard or could be Matvei Michkov. Now, the chances of that are very low, but you never know, and if you're a rebuilding team, I would take those chances. So we'd actually have too many goalies if we do this trade, so let me trade away some random goalie quick. So after refilling out the trade, guys, it told me Florida would be over the maximum salary cap for next year. I'm retaining 50% of Reinhart, which I don't think matters too much because there's only 1 year left on his deal anyways. So usually if there's 1 year left, they're okay with it. It doesn't affect the trade. It's when there's more than that, it really plays a factor. Also, guys, I want to show you in-game, Reinhart is the 4th most valuable on the team behind Eichel, Dahlin, and Cousins, which I think is pretty accurate, and of course it's my custom roster, so I'm going to agree with it. After retaining 50%, I wonder if that does play a factor, because we're definitely low in terms of the value, but even though the first round picks show a ton of value, a lot of times I find they don't really influence a trade as much as a player with that much value. It's kind of an interesting thing. So we'll try the trade here, see what the Panthers say. Trade's rejected. Wow. So in real life, I think Florida makes a great trade, first rounder in Levi for Reinhart, especially considering the fact they have that goalie depth now in terms of Spencer Knight. Levi, Knight's already proven himself in the NHL. He was never really going to push through. Kind of similar to DiPietro behind Demko in Vancouver, but I think even more so since Knight's literally only a year older than Levi, where Demko I think has got at least 5 years on DiPietro. Plus they're stuck with Bobrovsky, so they kind of just have to play him. They probably go with him and Knight, even if Bobrovsky's backing Knight up next year. So, yeah, very surprised. Florida rejects this trade. And after the trade, guys, here's an update look at the Sabres lines. In terms of the offense, without Reinhart, it looks pretty rough. And if you take out Eichel, they're going to have 3 players left who are 80-plus overall. And only one of them is actually over 80. 2 are 80 right on, Middlestat, Skinner. All of a sudden, they're 85. The rest are 70s. I think I mentioned this in the Ristolainen video, but the Sabres are not going to be good next year. I actually put out a tweet asking people if they thought they'd have over or under 20 wins. And most people are saying under. I don't think I could disagree with that. Like, this team, they're going to have a tough time, especially in the Atlantic with some really good teams like Tampa, Boston, Toronto. Florida's going to look even better now with Reinhart and the improvements they made this season. You got 2 80-plus defensemen there. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Goaltending-wise, Allmark and Hutton might not be back. They're both UFAs. Also, too, I think in the Ristolainen video, I still had McCabe on the defense, but I forgot he is a pending UFA, so there's a good chance he's not back. And yeah, the Sabres team, I feel bad for you Buffalo fans. Alright, guys, we're now trying this trade from the Panthers' perspective. You can see Buffalo's interested in both the first-round pick and Devon Levi. I was actually kind of surprised by that, seeing as they have Ukko-Pekka-Lehkonen, only 21 years old, one of the better goalie prospects in the NHL, medium late here in game. I'm taking back this other guy, Lekis, just because Buffalo would have too many goalies otherwise. Sam Reinhart is not on the block, which I really didn't expect. So even though we're overpaying here, this medium difficulty, it might not go through. We'll see. Trade is accepted. Okay, so they do like the trade. I just saw we're actually calling up Owen Tippett. I wanted to mention, when I heard the trade was happening last night, we didn't know what for. We just knew Sam Reinhart was going to Florida. I really thought it was going to be a first-round pick, which it was, plus one of Denisenko or Tippett. I think Denisenko would have been like the bigger get for Buffalo, Tippett the lesser get, and they ended up getting instead Devon Levi. So not a bad return, but they must be really high on Levi, and maybe not that high on Pekka-Lehkonen to like have him as the extra player with the Sam Reinhart trade, because otherwise it's just a first round pick, and if Florida's good, It's a late first rounder. So I'll take a look at the Panthers lines now and see how Reinhart improves them. I think they're going to be sick next year. So after that trade, guys, just an update look at the Panthers lines. Like I was saying, I think they're going to be nasty next year. Bringing in Reinhart means you can put Huberdeau back on the first line with Barkov. And I declare playing with those two as he played so well for the Panthers last year. They just re-signed him. I think it's a good fit. You then have a solid second line there of Reinhart, Bennett, Verhaeghe. Bennett really had like a coming out party on Florida. Just showed why he was the 4th overall pick. Denisenko, Walmark, Tippett is the third line. You got the young guns essentially with Walmark. Then Hornqvist, Achari, Vetrano, I think it's a very solid 4th line. As well, I think Anton Lundell could potentially make the team, push in for one of these spots. So a lot of depth. You got the superstars. Forwards look good. Defensively, I've got Weegar, Ekblad, Gudas, Forsling, Niederberg, and Stroman. I'm assuming Montour doesn't come back as UFA, and they don't sign anybody new. Not bad defense. Goaltending-wise, I think Knight's going to be the starter over Bobrovsky, but of course we'll have to wait and see. Bobrovsky, of course, I have the backup right now. Also scratched Wenberg, Gusev, pending UFAs. They could bring one or both of these guys back. We don't really know what's going to happen yet. So, yeah, the Panthers look like a good team here. I think they should be a playoff team again next season. I'll give you guys a first look at Sam Reinhart as a Florida Panther next here. So, game face, I think Sam Reinhart actually has a really good one. Number 23 there, Reinhart on the Florida Panthers. A little weird to see, of course. He's been on the Buffalo Sabres his entire career, but doesn't look too bad. Also, too, wanted to mention to you guys, a lot of people have said this already, but they actually have 3 of the top 4 picks from the 2014 draft on their team now. Ekblad, of course, was 1st overall. Reinhart was 2nd overall. And then Sam Bennett was the 4th overall pick. Don't think they're going to be getting the 3rd overall pick. That was Draisaitl. Draisaitl might literally cost you all 3 of those guys combined, and that might not be enough. So that was pretty cool, I thought. And like I said, big win, I think, for Florida. Buffalo, of course, trades a guy who just didn't want to be there anymore. But I really did think they could have gotten a better return for Reinhart. And the fact that they traded him within the division means the Florida offer must have been the best one by far. So let me know in the comment section which team you guys think won the trade. And as always, if you enjoyed this one, leave a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the sub button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.